Hello everybody, Matthew Armstrong here, coming at you live. This is great. This is phenomenal that I can talk to you live. And even if you're not watching this live, that's also great too. You're watching this, that's brilliant. But if you're watching it live, one of the great benefits is you can ask me questions. You can make comments right now, and if they're relevant, I will answer anything you have to say. So I can have a direct communication with you wherever you are in the world. Whether I know you or not, we can have a communication, and that is absolutely phenomenal. So what's this all about? This is actually a 90-day transformation live hangouts that I'm going to be doing every single evening, and they're going to be starting at this time for the most part. There'll be one or two times when I won't be able to do it this time, but for the most part, we'll be starting every day at this time, whatever time zone that is for you, and we're going to be going for about 30 minutes of inspiration, of learning, of discovery about yourself, and we're going to be following a plan as we do that. So I'm calling this training series, From Mediocrity to Mastery. From Mediocrity to Mastery. Because, you know, mediocrity is a place where there's nothing wrong with mediocrity. Here's the thing, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not going to give you a fulfilling life. You know, it's not going to give you a fulfilling life. And if you look at the statistics, you know, what's really fundamentally important to us? What's fundamentally important to humans? Well, one thing's our health, right? Our health is fundamentally important to us. Our well-being, health and well-being, and also our finances is important. It's very important. You know, you look at someone who's homeless on the street, or someone who's really struggling, and look at someone who's got a nice buffer. There's a huge difference. You know, financial freedom is freedom in life, freedom to have the world as your playground. But the thing is that mediocrity is people that don't have that. People that generally don't have that health, because, you know, 1 in 3 people will get cancer at some time in their life. 1 in 2 people will get heart disease at some time in their life. You know, that's a staggering statistic, and that's what I see is, for the most part, generally, of course there's exceptions, for the most part, that seems to be mediocrity. That's the norm, right? And then financially, 95% of people, when they get to the age of 65, are broke. They're broke. They haven't created financial freedom in this world where opportunities are everywhere. There's no shortage, and we have a long time to do it. From leaving school at 18 or whatever age, we have a long time to do that. But how come so few people do it? How come so few people really have a high level of health and well-being? Can really show up at their best? How many people have that financial freedom in their life? Very few. It's only a few percent. So, to me, that question the status quo. What are we really being taught in school? If we spend all those years in school, what are we really being taught? If we're not being taught health and wellness, if we're not being taught state management, how to control our emotions, how to build confidence, how to create multiple streams of income, you know, nutrition, things like that. If we're not being taught that, then what are we being taught? The most fundamental and important things in life we don't get taught in school. So that makes me question that, you know. And so that's what if you're watching this channel, that's what we're all about. We're all about, and this channel, Be Your Potential, is giving you the things that you don't get from the mainstream. You don't get in school, and you don't get from general sort of stuff, you know, TV, whatever, right? And so be your potential. Be your potential in all areas of life. You know, that's why I created that name, that company, that entity. Be your potential. You know, some people watch my YouTube channel and they just watch it for one thing. Maybe I'm doing something at the time. I'm doing a juice cleanse, or maybe I'm doing like a lot of raw food recipes because I'm focusing on that, or maybe I'm doing a lot of exercise because I'm focusing on that. And then when I do something else, people say, well, why aren't you doing the juice thing anymore? You've changed. No, this isn't called juice your potential, or potential juicing, or raw food potential, or fitness potential, or building muscle potential. It's be your potential. So that's my wish for you, that you be your potential in all areas of life, that you find out who you truly are, because being your potential is really knowing yourself and being yourself and loving yourself, as a matter of fact, as well. So that's what it really is to be your potential. So that's something that I wanted to clear up right off the bat. Is my wish for you is for you to be your potential, for you to create and live an inspiring life. And right now, that is what I see this series as doing. Because I'm always looking to improve things, always looking to do things better. I'm always looking to stretch myself and to step up to another level myself, and to hold myself accountable, and have you, the viewers, my friends, to also, my team, my students, to also hold me accountable as well. Because I'm always looking to raise my standards. I'm not willing to settle for mediocrity. For me, life is about mastery. Life is about mastery. And that is what I choose to do. I choose to master each and every area of life. And sometimes I'm leading with health and wellness. Sometimes I'm leading with my finances, and that's something that I'm looking to do right now. It's like life is like a harmonic orchestra. Sometimes you've got the violins going. Sometimes you've got the drums going. Sometimes you've got the woodwind instruments going. It's not just one monotone thing, right? And so at different times we will lead with different areas of our life. Maybe it's our career we're putting our focus on. Maybe it's our relationships or our family we're putting our focus on. Maybe it's our health and wellness. Maybe we get a health scare, and then we go, okay, that's it. And for the next few years, we just really learn and just master health and wellness. Because our voids in life often create our values, and that's something we're going to be learning about in this 90 days. So mediocrity and mastery, you can master some area of your life in 90 days, or at least get on that path to mastery where you're knowing yourself at a deeper level in that area, and you have become empowered in that area. You've become empowered, and you're moving in the right direction. So there's going to be exercises. There's going to be homework. There's going to be I'm going to stretch you. I'm stretching myself. It's one thing to put up videos, put up a daily video. That's one thing, But to do a live hangout where there's no turning off the camera and going, oh, that was a bit of crap, I think I'll do that again, And no, this is live. There's people watching live, so I can't just stop it. And if I lose my train of thought, or if I say something that that didn't sound very good, so I'm putting myself on the line because I want to grow. I want to stretch myself. I want to improve my communication skills. I wish to become a master of communication. I wish to become a master teacher in various areas of life, and I wish to be able to do that while I'm on the line. Not just doing something and then sending it out, but doing that live, where it puts me under a little bit more higher level of stress, where I can operate and I can function under a higher level of stress, because I'm always looking to increase my threshold. You know what I mean? So that's what you always be wanting to do. You always be looking to increase your threshold, how much you can take, expand your comfort zone, right? So that's a lot of what we're going to be doing over these 90 days. I'm doing it, and then you're joining me. You're going to be doing it too. So I want you to set some very clear goals for this next 90 days, but you're going to be finding out a lot about yourself. You're going to be finding out a lot about yourself, and maybe shifting in different ways in your life, having big aha moments, seeing blind spots and things like that through the technology and the philosophy that we're going to be learning. So I have some financial goals I'm going to talk about, but right now I want to talk about the book and the philosophy and the man behind it that we're going to be studying over the next 90 days. It's Dr. John Demartini, and he wrote this book called The Values Factor. The Secret to Creating an Inspired and Fulfilling Life. So if you're going to be going through this series with me, which I believe you are, why wouldn't you? You'd be nuts not to. Let's just do it, right? Let's run with me here. You need to buy this book. You need to buy this book. You can go to his website, drdemartini.com, I believe, or drdemartini.com. Easy enough to find. Or you can just go on Amazon and buy that book, The Values Factor by Dr. John Demartini. Doesn't look like much, but don't judge a book by its cover. And that there is solid gold. That is some of the greatest wisdom that when you get that and you master that and apply it to your life, it will completely transform everything, right? And this book here, I believe this is going to be becoming, because it's very new out, I believe it's going to become an absolute classic for the 21st century, along the same lines as Think and Grow Rich, written by Napoleon Hill, was in the 20th century. So many great successes in the 20th century and even into the 21st century, they put their success down to that book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and the success principles that he lays out in that book. Well, come 21st century, we need something at a higher level, 21st century technology and philosophy, and something at a higher understanding. And that's what John Demartini has created with this book, The Values Factor. So if you don't know Dr. John Demartini, you can find out about him. But he read over 30,000 books, which boggles my mind. It totally boggles my mind to read that many books. But he's read over 30,000 books in his life. And to me, this is like a distillation of the greatest wisdom. He's like, well, what can I put into one book? If you're saying, well, out of all those 30,000 books, what's the greatest wisdom that I can put into one book that will, take someone's life to self-actualize it, let's say, to self-actualize their life, to take it to the highest levels of inspiration. And I believe that's what was born with this book here. So what I'm going to be doing might seem strange, but I thought it best to do it. Just think of this like story time. I'm going to read this book to you. If I read 6 to 7 pages a day, it's going to take roughly 60 days to read it. And there's exercises in the book to start to rewire the brain. We're looking to rewire our brain, because if you want to transform your life, you have to transform your thinking. To transform your thinking, you have to actually, looking deep into the brain and on a level of biology and everything, is you're looking to, in chemistry, you're looking to actually create new neural pathways. You're looking to myelate those neurotransmitters in the brain. And in this book, it gives you exercises to actually do that, because you have to break out of your paradigm. And as I say, to break out of your paradigm, you have to rewire the brain. So as I read this to you, I've never done this. This is new for me. Reading everyone's story from the book. I thought about it long and hard, and I thought this is actually the best way to do it. So you've got it. You're hearing what's being said. Then we're going to be talking about it and putting it into action, doing the exercises together. I've already gone through this book and I started the exercises. So you're going to want to have a book. I've got this book just brand new to do all the exercises in, because there's a ton of exercises. You need a book with at least 50 pages in to do all the exercises, to actually start to create shifts in the brain, which will change your life. And this is how you do it. None of that fluffy, airy-fairy, The Secret, law of attraction stuff. This is where the rubber meets the road, right? So let's do it, right? Let's just do it. Okay, let me just read the back by Dr. John Demartini. Dr. John Demartini is a leading authority on human behavior and personal development. He is the founder of a private research and education organization, the Demartini Institute, which hosts a curriculum of more than 72 courses covering multiple aspects of human development. An internationally renowned speaker, Dr. Demartini travels the globe consulting with corporate leaders and offering seminars to hundreds of thousands of followers. The best-selling author of 40 books published in 29 languages, Dr. Demartini has also produced more than 60 CDs and DVDs explaining how to achieve fulfillment and true success in relationships, education, wealth building, and business. So, so his website is drdemartini.com. facebook.com, facebook.com/Dr John Demartini. Go and head over there and give them a like as well. You know, so I've studied from a lot of the most outstanding people on the planet, whether being in person, reading their books, going to their seminars, listening to their audios, interviewing them, or whatever. And I'm choosing to study this with you right now. So there's a reason for that. It's absolutely phenomenal. It's next level. It's next level stuff. It's different to everything else. It's next level. There's a lot of great people out there, a lot of great teachers. But there's a reason why I'm choosing to do this, because I believe this will create the change that you're looking for. A lot of people have struggled with reading personal development books and law of attraction and stuff like that, and they're struggling with it. This will change things, okay? So I'm just going to read it to you. 6 or 7 pages each evening. We'll go through the book. There's no exercises for the first few days, but every week there will be at least one exercise where you're going to have to spend a good few hours doing the exercise, okay? So let's start. This is cool, huh? Story time. So as I'm reading, please be actively listening and take any notes, anything that jumps out at you. Take some notes and go from there. What is the values factor? Your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values become your destiny. Mahatma Gandhi. That's a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. What is the most important step you can take to achieve the inspired and fulfilling life you dreamed of? You might think the answer was something like start saving money, get a better job, or land that big promotion. Or maybe your response would be more like find my life partner, have a baby, or improve my marriage. Perhaps your thoughts turn to such general answers as go back to school, take more time to travel, or spend more time pursuing a spiritual practice. Any of those actions might help you create a more well-rounded life, perhaps more meaningful, but none of them alone will be the key to fulfilling your destiny. None of them alone may even come close. Why? Because until you understand specifically what you truly value most, what truly inspires you, who you truly are, and what your true purpose is, a completely inspired, fulfilling life will elude you. You're likely to attempt to live the life that someone else wants you to live, trying to follow someone else's values or priorities, those of a parent, teacher, boss, or spouse. That is a recipe for frustration, the job that never quite satisfies you, the relationship that has somehow gone stale, and the vague sense that you're living a quiet life of desperation. What if you are living according to your own highest values, but you're not completely aware of those values, nor appreciating what they actually are? If so, you're not able to experience the full rewards of your daily efforts. Our highest values are the key to helping us define and meet our goals. They alert us to our opportunities we might otherwise have missed, and they allow us to tap into our physical, mental, and spiritual powers. Being only partly aware of your highest values can cause you to overlook many of life's opportunities while blocking you from full access to your own abilities. That is why I say that determining your highest values is one of the most important actions you could ever take. Determining your highest values is the key to living your inspired destiny. You'll be able to build a career where every day can feel like a vacation because you love the work you do. You'll be able to find the life partner that you seek or transform your current relationship into the intimate, nourishing partnership that you would love. You'll be able to activate your own unique genius, grow your financial freedom, expand your influence, and unleash your vitality. Ultimately, you'll be able to achieve your immortal vision, fulfilling your purpose for being here on earth. Understanding your highest values and then using those values to achieve your most meaningful goals is the key to transforming a quiet life of desperation into an amazing life of inspiration. And what is the secret to understanding your highest values? That's where the values factor comes in. I'm going to make a confession. Although I'd like to think of myself as a hard-working, dedicated person, and although my family and colleagues would probably describe me as such, I seldom feel as though I'm working hard. Those 18-hour days and that intense travel schedule is to fulfill my international speaking engagements do not seem like hard work. Quite the contrary. They seem like the best vacation in the world. Exactly what I'd love to be doing, even though I'm at a point in life where I don't have to work. Likewise, if you saw my dozen or so international best-selling books, or if you looked at the research I do to keep my work fresh and up to date, you might think that I'm a disciplined person. I'm not so sure that I am, but it doesn't matter, because when you're doing something you love, you don't think of it in terms of discipline. Fulfilling your purpose is so rewarding, you just can't wait to get out there and do it. And that's how I feel about my life. I can't wait to get up each day to research, write, travel, and teach. The teaching I do, the books I write, the research I conduct, and the travel I undertake are the most inspiring and satisfying activities I can envision. I can't wait to begin my next seminar. I look forward to meeting my next client. I am enthused about sitting down with new material to prepare my next book. And my intense travel schedule, which often has me visiting numerous cities and countries in a matter of days, is the icing on the cake. Why has my life worked out to be so inspiring to me? Not because I'm unusually lucky or ambitious or effective at making money. My life has blossomed because I live according to my highest values. Researching, writing, traveling, and teaching, and I set my goals and intentions accordingly. I've reaped enormous rewards from understanding my highest values and using them to set my goals. Knowing that my highest values are researching, writing, traveling, and teaching has enabled me to choose a career and build a business based on realizing these values at their highest level. Because I'm pursuing and living according to my highest values wholeheartedly, I have complete access to my physical, mental, and spiritual resources, my leadership, my creativity, and my energy. Because everything in my life is aligned toward meeting my values, my whole life feels meaningful and rich. Work is meaningful and fulfilling when it's something that you truly love to do. Life is intensely satisfying when it's full of people and activities that align with your highest values. And relationships based on mutual appreciation of both people's highest values are fulfilling at a level that is hard to imagine until you've experienced it for yourself. Understanding the values factor has enabled me to live an extraordinary life. As soon as you understand the values factor, you can live a life that is equally as extraordinary. You already have within you everything you need to create such a life. The key is knowing and understanding your highest values and then using them to determine your goals. In this book, I'll show you exactly how to do that. How I discovered the values factor. The first time I became aware of the power of the values factor, I was only 17 years old. I was born with my hand and foot turned inward, so I had to wear hand and leg braces in early childhood. And I was also born left-handed, which in those days was considered sinister. The efforts of my parents, teachers, and doctors to correct my problems created a number of additional learning challenges, besides contributing to my sense that something was not exactly normal with me. Accordingly, I was diagnosed with dyslexia and speech impediment, conditions that made it difficult for me to read, write, and speak. In my first grade, my teacher told my parents that I would never amount to much, and I had a challenging time in elementary school from then on. Finally, at age 14, I dropped out of school and left home. I headed first for the Texas beaches, then for California, and finally on to Hawaii, where I became a full-time surfer, living hand-to-mouth. My plan was to learn to make surfboards and occasionally work other odd jobs to sustain my free-spirited surfing lifestyle, which I assumed would go on indefinitely. A few years later, though, I almost died of strychnine and cyanide poisoning as a result of inadequate nutrition in combination with the consumption of excessive numbers of Hawaiian babywood rose seeds, psilocybin mushrooms, and other toxic psychedelic hallucinogens. My life was headed downward fast. But the downward spiral was interrupted at age 17, when a local woman just happened to find me deathly sick, partly unconscious and dehydrated in my tent in the Halewa Point jungle. This kind woman ran immediately to get me fresh fruit juices to rehydrate me. She helped me recover, cleaned up my tent, and then took me to a nearby health food store in Halewa called Vim and Vigor. There she helped replenish my body with quality, nutritious food. I became a regular customer at Vim and Vigor, and a few days later, I noticed a flyer on its door inviting people to a special guest lecture at the Sunset Recreation Hall on the north shore of Oahu to be presented by famous naturopath and longevity specialist Paul C. Bragg. I'd never before been to a lecture of this type, and I'd never heard of Paul Bragg, but my intuition told me to attend. I later found out that millions of people around the United States knew Paul Bragg for his teachings on how to enhance vitality and well-being, and possibly also to extend lives. That evening changed my life. I sat with a few dozen other teenagers listening to this inspired, wise, elderly gentleman, the remarkable legendary figure who had once inspired health and fitness pioneer Jack LaLanne. Paul inspired me too, when I heard him explain how to use universal or natural laws along with our inner powers to become ageless and vital and to fulfill our unique, amazing purpose. It awakened something dormant deep within me. I realized that I had the power to mold my own life into any shape I chose. This sense of empowerment was a revelation to me. As a high school dropout who had been told in first grade that I would probably never be able to read, write, communicate, or amount to anything, I had a secret, suppressed desire to be intelligent and well-read like my older sister Lynn. I wanted to learn more about the world and to become important enough to make a difference in it. But I had accepted everything I'd been told about my so-called limitations, and so I had held myself back. Upon hearing Paul Bragg share his wisdom and inspiration that night, I felt for the first time in my life that just maybe I could break through my learning limitations and actually read and become intelligent. At that age, I understood that goal to mean becoming a teacher, someone who could understand and teach these natural laws. My love for traveling also inspired a vision that night of traveling to every country on the face of the earth and sharing what I learned with millions of people. Paul Bragg's inspiring words helped me to understand my previously hidden high values, researching and studying, so that I could understand the universal laws of which he spoke, and then writing, traveling, and teaching so that I could share them with my fellow humans all over the globe. These are the highest values that were awakened in me that night that have guided my life for more than 40 years. Understanding my highest values and purpose has enabled me to achieve remarkable things. First, I was able to overcome obstacles that had previously defeated me. When you actually begin to take high priority actions that are truly most meaningful to you, your self-worth and self-confidence increase, making you feel as though you can overcome any impediment that seems to block your chosen path. And that is what happened to me. Bringing my life into congruence with my true purpose inspired me to keep practicing my reading. I also drew strength from the affirmation that Paul Bragg encouraged me to say to myself each day: I am a genius and I apply my wisdom. And so I gradually broke through my dyslexic learning limitations with steadfast dedication. I gradually mastered reading and writing. I went on to get a BS from the University of Houston and then to get special honors from Texas Chiropractic College when I got my doctorate there. But I didn't wait to finish school to start teaching. As an early age as 18, I began working with students who just seemed to be spontaneously attracted to whatever I was learning and inspired by. My first pupil was a large African-American woman who came to me to learn more about health. Then an Iranian man who came to me also seeking a healthier way of life, followed by a German man. Soon I was meeting with 16 students every day in the college library. Then I was leading an open-air class of more than 100 students in the Central Park at the University of Houston. By the time I was 23, I was teaching students nearly every night in a wide variety of venues, in my apartment, in nearby health food stores, at local colleges, and at my professional school. I continued teaching for several years until I had finally graduated from the Texas Chiropractic College and opened my practice. At that point, I began offering regular evening events for the public. Then I appeared on local radio and television shows. Eventually, I began speaking to even larger live audiences, first at state conventions, then at national meetings, and finally to huge global audiences from all walks of life. Ultimately, then, I was able to fulfill my mission by serving millions of people all around the world, while creating for myself a life that is so fulfilling it feels almost like a vacation, even when I work 18 hours a day, 7 days a week. Being true to myself and to my highest values enabled me to access my deepest reserves of power, inspiration, genius, and creativity, as I will explain further in the chapters that lie ahead. To see the power of knowing your own highest values, however, You have only to compare the homeless 17-year-old working odd jobs and risking his health with the vital creative educator delving deep into his research and sharing his knowledge with millions of people around the globe. I experienced the benefits of the values factor firsthand, which is why I believe in its extraordinary power. These benefits are not available only to me, they are the rewards that await all people who are true to themselves and their highest values. They are based in a profound truth that I have been exploring ever since that fateful day more than 40 years ago. Everybody has a hierarchy of values, and when you live according to your highest values, that's when you liberate the most authentic you, the most empowered you, the most inspired you, and the most creative you. Living according to your highest values is the secret to living an inspired and fulfilling life. Here endeth the lesson for this evening or today from the values factor. How was that? Let me know. First time I've read something out, and maybe the first time anyone has done something like that on a hangout on YouTube. You know, maybe I'll start a trend, who knows. So each and every day, we're going to be reading 6 or 7 pages. That was maybe a little bit longer introduction to John Demartini and the value factor. And there's exercises, maybe not tomorrow, the next day, but maybe on the 4th day that will be exercises as well. So you'll need a notepad, a large notepad. Get a fresh one. I started doing it in my my other journal, and it was just different pages here and there. It was all messy, you know. So I got a fresh one, which I'm going to start it again, and I'm going to do this because once you learn and once you master what's in this book, it will empower your life more than any book I've ever come across. Really, you know, you could go into Fortune 500 companies and consult after reading this book. You can, you know, any area of life, you can master it. You can master yourself through understanding this. You can go into coaching, consulting, relationships, anything at all. So I wanted to keep this short. I wanted to keep each hangout to about 30 minutes. So I'm going to do that. But hopefully you're inspired by this first day, and you want more. You want more. So every night we're going to have roughly 30 minutes where I'm going to read something from the book. I'm going to do some exercises. I'm going to talk a little bit. Tomorrow I'm going to talk a little bit about my story. Today we heard about Dr. John Demartini. I'm going to tell you a bit about my story and see how I resonate with him very much, because there's a lot of similarities in my story as well. A lot of the similar voids I had of being learning disabled when I was a child and having health challenges and things like that I had to overcome. But it's amazing. It's amazing, and that's one of the teachings here. Is our greatest challenges in life are blessings, right? You know, and that's maybe what I want to leave you with this evening. Is our greatest challenges, we can turn them into blessings, and we can empower ourselves through them. So always, if you're going through something right now, look for the blessing in it, and see how it's actually teaching you. You're actually learning from this challenge. You're expanding. You know, when you come to it with a view of that. You know, if you go to it with the view of the victim, of why is this happening to me, or oh no, you know, you're playing the victim, you're at the effect of everything, then you know, that just tends to happen. But life and the universe is always trying to teach us. You know, we live in a friendly universe. Even if at times things seem traumatic, horrendous things seem to happen, there's a much bigger picture, and there is a divine order that is at work at all times, seeking balance in the universe. And what is unbalanced is our perceptions, and that's what we're going to learn to balance in this video, in this next 90 days of doing this. We're going to do that, right? So what I'm going to leave you with something every single day that you're going to change, and start to look now. What's most important to you in life? I want you to ask a question. So you know by tomorrow night what's most important to you in life. What's most important? You know, that's what your values are. What's most important to you, right? A lot of people don't really know what's most important to them, or they live in a fantasy, or they're just having what other people project of what's most important to them onto their lives. So once you can find out what's most important to you, then you can go about being inspired and doing it, right? And learning to master it. So find out what's most important to you, and then start with that affirmation. The affirmation that hopefully you wrote it down. Hopefully you're taking notes there. That John Demartini said, "I am a genius and I apply my wisdom." Start saying that to yourself, because that will actually start to change the neurotransmitters in your brain. That will start to rewire your brain, and the more you say that, the more you start to believe it, and the more it will start to show up in your life by saying, "I am a genius and I apply my wisdom," and ask yourself the question, what's most important in your life? And what's most important to me? What do I love to do? What would I love to do? Those sorts of questions. Let me tell you my big goal, because like at the minute I'm leading with well, one of the things I'm leading with is my finances. I'm creating that financial freedom and creating a community of other people that are also creating that financial freedom as well. That's what I'm looking to create. And so this next 90 days, I've given myself a huge financial goal, which is achievable, and I'm putting myself out there by telling everyone what it is. And let's see if this stuff works. Let's see if this stuff works. You know, I believe it well, or else I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do this live and tell everyone exactly what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. But my financial goal for the next 90 days is to make $100,000 in income, and at the same time help a number of my people, my team, earn at least $10,000 or more. Some of them might earn more than me, and I hope they do, because the business that I'm in is helping people to create businesses and create an income online with a system that I use. And if you're interested in that, if that's maybe one of your high values that you want to focus on now, and there'll be a link below this video of where you can join my team, and then we can do that together. Or if that's not of no interest of you, that's totally fine. You know, you're going to get as much out of this as you desire in any area of your life. But I just want to let you know that that's my focus for this next 90 days is creating that income. I've got some other goals as well. If you watch some of my other videos, I'm doing a lot of body weight exercises at the minute. So I want to perfect the body weight exercise called the planche press up into a handstand, which is probably the most difficult body weight exercise to do, and I want to do that in the next 10 days. So, you know, I'm also doing stuff for my health, but my finances is something that's leading at the minute. And so if that's for you, let's do that together. Let's run together with it. You know, you can join me right now and do that. Or if there's something else, let us know. You know, write some comments. Let us know what your goal is, what you want to achieve in the next 90 days, and we can create an accountability group that inspire each other to do that. Okay, thanks for watching this first evening, and make sure you tune in again tomorrow. And you're welcome to share this with your friends, with your team. Send it to your email list, put it on your Facebook, whatever. You know, we're looking to inspire the world, and this is my way of doing it. So look forward to speaking to you tomorrow. Thank you very much.